Good morning. We start the day with a sticker peel. Not bad, not bad. Always pleasantly surprised when the sticker peel's relatively clean, although not as clean as I would hope. Oh well. I think we're gonna start our day with organizing some of my jars because that pantry is getting very chaotic, very crowded. Might have to retire some jars. MLK, what happened to that dude? Wherever you are, hope you're doing okay. Let me just show you. We're barely fitting everything in there. I'm trying to see if I can stack some because we have jars down here too that need to go up. So gonna have to figure something out. Here's our bread that we'll be baking soon. Not quite ready yet. I had to reshape it because when I took it out of the fridge this morning, the dough had proofed and like scooched and started overflowing on the side. So I was like, that is not gonna bake well. So I unfortunately had to reshape it, but we'll just be a little bit patient. You know what? Let me put you on our new chair so you can see my chaos. Yes. Yes, and anxiety is the title because we are having some insane anxiety these days. You ever have one of those streaks where you wake up, you go through the day, and you go to sleep, and it's like this tension that runs all along your body, like the entire length of your body is just a low grade tension, and it almost feels like sometimes, you know, when you have like a leg muscle cramp and you can almost start to feel that cramp set in before it gets really painful and debilitating. My entire body has kind of felt like that for the past week. I have had a really bad back knot, like right underneath on my left shoulder blade. It's been traveling towards my right shoulder at like a slight 45-degree angle. It was really painful one night. I had to use one of those rubber handballs and just like roll myself on my bed to try to massage out that knot. Yeah, it's really attacking my body. So that's what my anxiety feels like. Don't know about you. I'm not sitting at the computer a lot. I don't really sit. I don't really have a proper work setup. Yes, this is my mom's sweater with the nice little scalloped edges. Okay. We have mugs. Mugs galore. We have spice jars. From cleaning out our spice cabinet. We have big jar, we have peanut butter jar. We have mason jars. My. We have a little, I don't even know what kind of glass this is. I saw it at Goodwill. Aaron was like, you are not buying one more glass. And I'm like, I am. I totally am. Look at this solid chunk of glass on the neck. We have a jam jar that is really only good for spices or dry things because the edges, the corners are really hard to clean. We might get demonetized, so I won't say this out loud, but one of my favorite mugs. A little teacup. A little, I guess, whiskey cup. Aaron does think I have a jar problem. Indeed. We have some beakers. Baby jam jars. That's how many jars we've taken out so far. This is a Prego jar for moms. Classico jar. I think this is mine. Can't be sure. I think it is. Oh, God. More Classico jar. This tiny Classico jar is from moms, though. Cute, huh? I believe that special demonetization mug can be found on eBay. Do I think it's a problem? It's not really a problem until we have broken glass, you know? I'm also gonna have to see what I have lids for, because if I don't have lids, then there's no point in keeping this many jars. Some of them have missing lids. I spent like 20 bucks on this measuring mug of sorts. I've used it like once. That's a shame. Need to use that more. More mason. This is a mug of Aaron's. I think we need to clean that. Gross. These are some display only things that I used to use on the surface of my shoots, but I think we can toss and compost those things. This is a mug that I got from Mom's. I had kept it at Mom's. I think I got this from a thrift sale from a church, maybe, I'm not sure. But here's a snake straight as a board on a rock because anxiety. And then it says, relax. Have you ever thought of taking a glass making class? Oh my lord, we're gonna have to move to a much bigger apartment for that to happen. What do you use this glass for? We have another Pyrex. Is this Pyrex? I don't know what it is. We have another chemistry looking thing. We have my teapot. Alright, I think we can start organizing shit. This is a tea strainer that I don't think I will ever use. It came with my tea kettle that my boss gave me one Christmas for Secret Santa. but I don't even know if, I think I'm just gonna recycle this because I don't even know if anybody's gonna want this. I guess I could use it as a strainer. I never thought about that. I could potentially use this as a strainer, huh? Here's a cool glass that I rescued from the free table at work. I love the shape of this one. But I don't really ever use it. So I think we're gonna make the top shelf some jars I never use. We're gonna try to move the glass down here because, oh no, my washi tape isn't peeling off. Yikes. It's been on here too long. Alright, we're gonna peel off this washi tape that is no longer accurate. And then I'm going to try to rearrange some of this shit so that we use some more of these cool glasses that we have that I spent good money on. Has anyone followed through with their childhood dreams of either like career or life path? I'm so curious. Do you remember what you wanted to be when you were 6? Why is today Blue Monday? Who determines what Blue Monday is? Why do we have a Blue Monday? God, that sounds like such a self-fulfilling prophecy though. Honestly, if this is the most depressing Monday of the year, I'll take it because I feel like things can get much worse than this. I feel like they will too, but I think that's also my anxiety talking. That's like, don't get too comfortable, it'll be worse. Before you know it, that didn't hit the trash can. Okay, we have a lot of peanut butter jars. A lot. We have these two stainless steel cups. I don't even know why I got these. I got these from Patel Brothers. I never ever use them. Why do I have them? Ay, ay. Just getting angry at myself now. I also have a neti pot. I don't remember why we have this. I also don't know why it's in the glassware. Definitely not in the glassware. I think this came from a coffee subscription place. The other teacup that matches Fred's little teacup. I think I got this off of the free table. I have no idea why I have it. I guess it could be a salt cellar of sorts, but maybe it's time to start a new giveaway bag. Like these things. Huh? Things that I never use, never will. This one I believe Aaron wanted to keep because it's from his mom's place. So I'll keep that now. I'll put these mugs to the right side. This one he uses quite often. So we'll put that back there. I like this metal one. Milk, love what's real. I think this is a mug made by the milk industry, but I love it nonetheless. Let's see how many mugs we can stack safely. What else? What else? Okay. Time to see what lids we have. just reading what you guys want it to be. You never ended up being Hulk Hogan. Oh gosh. Life is too depressing sometimes. But onwards we go. The green stickers came from when we were sorting our spices. It's just a little note for me to distinguish what goes where without everything being a mess. That doesn't fit. Huh. That's a logama lid. I don't know why. I wouldn't have a jar for that. Interesting. 2 lids that have no homes. Put you there for now. Another peanut butter lid. Okay, what's that? I have very many curious lids. Including a Clausen jar lid. Why don't I have a matching jar? That's weird. That's very weird. That is very strange. Okay. Trouble in Paradise. Where are the matching lids? How often do I go through my cupboards? Not very. Not nearly enough. I do have 2 tea jars here. One has chamomile. One has milky oolong. So I feel like maybe one of these, yep, fits that. Okay, that's a mystery solved. Do you fit? No, you don't quite fit. Damn, I really like this jar too. Huh. I wonder why. Wow, just to give you a full view of that jar layout. That's a really gross lid. Ew. Okay. We took our tea break. Now we're gonna come back to this. Spice jars, I think, can all go up there because not very often do I need them. I feel like I should be giving this one away, right? What do you guys think? I don't think it's very useful. This, I feel like could be very useful for homemade balms, if I ever made a homemade balm. So I'll keep that for now. Yes, I know I have a problem, guys. Obviously, I have a jar problem, but what are you gonna do about it? Nothing. I'm gonna put some of the bigger boys up top. Very good for me to know what big boys are available for when I make, you know, soups that need homes, storage options. So big boys go up top. Used to have more big boys. I don't know what happened to them. Huh. Is that all for the big boys? Weird. Oh, well, there's a few here. Okay. Alright, all the rest of them seem to be peanut butter jars. So we have, let's count how many peanut butter jars we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 peanut butter jars, not counting what's already holding beans, whatever's holding Fred's food in the fridge, chili oil. So that's a lot of jars, huh? Okay. Now I'm gonna move some small storage things up there that I don't use very often, including these ramekins that I bought for that one project that I no longer use. This squeeze bottle can definitely go up there too. I don't use you very often. Okay. This maple syrup bottle for some reason. I think we're just going to toss it. That's definitely not useful. These two I've kept. I don't know why I kept them, but I did. So this one doesn't even, I'm gonna recycle that one too. This one might be useful. Yes. So I'll keep that one. You can go in the back. This spice shaker could be useful. I don't know when, but I'm not going to toss it out just yet. And I guess this Pyrex thingy can go up top. There. Now we have more room for more jars. Oh boy, and glasses. I'm thinking jars on the left, glasses on the right. That way we can use more glasses. I'm gonna try to play the stacking game as much as possible for these squatter jars, to save some space if possible. Okay. Oh my god. Suzuku, keep us updated to see if you're actually allergic to gluten because sometimes it's fake news. Much more organized, wouldn't you say? We're not done yet though. I have to wash some things that are really gross. So these 2 jars that currently don't have lids. I'm also gonna dump out this display food. Take out this washi tape. I think I still remember when I had this display only. I think it was when I made like a spiced chai recipe. My god. I hate thinking about old recipes because it always reminds me of a time when mom was still here, but we're gonna recycle these. We're gonna put these outside somewhere. Our bread, currently looking very happy. We might, I might just set up a alarm for myself in about 10 minutes. Let's preheat the oven and get ready to bake. Oh, right. This teapot also needs a home. Yep. And these 2 Pyrex glasses, which I do definitely want. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Now we have a lot less space. Fred is great. As soon as I finish washing these dirty ass glasses, I can take you next door to our living bedroom combo and show you what a lazy asshole he's being. Does anybody else get joint pain when they drink alcohol? Aaron laughs at me, but the first time I ever got drunk in his presence, my left knee hurt so much, like I had sprained it or something, and he was like, that doesn't happen. And I was like, well, it's happening. You can either believe me or not believe me, but it's happening. Suzuku, I also wonder what kind of bread you're eating, because sometimes commercial bread has a lot more vital wheat gluten, which is like concentrated gluten, in their production, just to make it extra chewy. and fresh. So it's possible that a lot of people have developed gluten sensitivities in recent years because of how commercial bread is made, and unfortunately because of the way we eat a lot more commercial bread than we eat like homemade or small batch baked bread. So it's possible. I'm not a doctor though, obviously. Yes, I do get very bad Asian flush when I drink, so I do think that it could be just like an autoimmune thing. Yeah, homemade bread, especially if you do sourdough bread, even commercial yeast bread, like the ones I've been making for Aaron, can be worse. Sourdough, apparently because of the fermentation that's included in the process and in the starter, helps your body break down wheat much more readily, is what I've heard. Again, not a scientist, so could all be fake news, but the cabinet above the refrigerator holds ingredients that I don't use as often, so it has some like sweet potato starch noodles, some random baking ingredients that I bought that I haven't experimented with, you know, bean overflow, such and such, so on and so forth. Yes, emmer, spelt, kamut, all of those are local, special, artisanal grains, if you will. I've seen them at farmers markets. I used to use them when I had to make bread at my last restaurant. They taste really good, but they are very expensive. They're like more labeled as heritage grains, you know, so much less commercially produced. More labor intensive, more regionally specific, those all drive prices up. Thoughts on Friedrich Nietzsche? That is a very non sequitur question. I have always said that I've always wanted to give Nietzsche a hug, like if I could. You know how some people ask those questions of if you could invite one person living or dead to dinner, who would you invite? I would want to invite Nietzsche, and I would want to like just give him a hug, because I feel like that man really needed a hug, you know? I think my dad was fascinated with his writings for a while, and I haven't fact checked this, but I think Nietzsche got syphilis towards the end of his life. I don't think he was very old when he passed, but he did go mad when he got syphilis because, you know, they didn't really invent reliable treatment back then yet for it. And my favorite story of Nietzsche goes that once he went insane, he saw a horse being beaten on the street by the carriage driver, and he ran across the street and he threw his arms around the horse and he hugged the horse and he started crying, "Why do they treat us this way?" Which always just made me feel so sad. For various reasons. But yes, why do they treat us this way? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's proofed. We got to preheat right now. $450 is what we're preheating to. And let's go see Freddie. Bread with kombucha? I don't know, it could be a thing. Are you feeling the blue Mondays too, Freddie? Is your life just one long, unending Monday? Or is it always a Sunday? Or is it a Saturday? Or even Friday? Those days all feel different, but maybe not to you, huh? Maybe not to you. MLK Day, no work. Correct. Sorry, what is Kasha? I don't actually know what Kasha is. Freddie, can you turn around so the people can see you? Wow, what a lazy butt. What a lazy butt. What if I play with you? Oh, buckwheat. Got it. I've not had toasted buckwheat as a cooked grain, but I've used buckwheat in baking. Hello, Scotland. Yes, I must annoy you to the umpteenth degree before you give us any FaceTime, huh? Do you like that? Does this feel good? Is this a toy and massager in one? Or is it the ultimate annoyance? The ultimate annoyance. Aaron and I used to joke that the purpose of cats is for us to annoy them, but I feel like once we got a cat, we don't actually annoy him all that much. I think we have to really up the annoyance factor to get our money's worth, you know, like, we might have to ask for a, refurbish. Hey. I want to annoy you. Yay, you turned around. Hi, Freddie. Oh, what was that? What was that, Fred? Yes, thank you for turning around. He always looks sleepy, though. I want you to say hi to our viewers, Freddie, because they love you. They love you. You like it when I scratch this patch, don't ya? Oh yes. Oh yes. That's your favorite spot to be scratched. Second only to cheeks and ears. A full upper body treatment. You about to bite? Fred doesn't get baths, but Aaron has been saying he smells oily and feels oily, so we're wondering if we should bathe him. But he really hates baths, especially because we had to traumatize him early in his days here because he had ringworm. So, do you guys bathe your cats? And if so, how frequently do you bathe them? And if so, what do you use to bathe them? What can I not use to bathe Fred? I really don't want to buy a cat-specific shampoo or body wash. I think that Fred smells fine. Honestly, I like the way Fred smells, but Aaron, I think, is very picky about his smells. I think Fred just smells like a little baby. I wipe him with a damp cloth sometimes. He hates it. Or sometimes I run my petting glove under water so I could get a little bit of water. But I don't think immersing him in water or showering him is a good idea, especially because it probably will re-traumatize him. There are some websites that are like, you should bathe cats every 6 weeks. And I'm like, what? None of my friends who have cats bathe their cats. Anecdotally speaking, the internet is fake news. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you for the FaceTime. I'm gonna leave you be now, okay? We're gonna bake things. Let's bake things. Bye, Fred. Okay, so we're gonna bake bread. Oh, hi. Have you come? What have you come for, my dear? Have you come for treats? All right, I guess I'll give you some treats since you're here and all. So some people were asking how we trained Fred to shake. Aaron started this. He just started saying, "Give me your paw," while giving him treats. And, you know, at first, he really just had to grab his paw because Fred didn't understand English. He still probably doesn't. And then I was like, all right, I'll continue your training, but I think give me your paw is too long. So I just whittled it down to paw. So I just kept saying paw, paw, and he got better at understanding what I wanted. But at one point, I just kept holding out my hand until he put it in there, which never happened. So I learned that the key trick to actually making him learn what I wanted was I would say paw, and then take it back immediately if he didn't put it on my hand. So I would say paw, paw. And then he understood that there was a time frame in which he had to place his paw in my hand. Otherwise, he would lose that chance. So now I don't have to say it anymore. I just put the hand in front, and he understands what I want. And at first, I didn't really hold and shake it. You have to introduce it in increments, as I'm sure you know. And now I can shake it. But at first, I would just hold it very briefly. Even if he just tapped my hand, I would give it to him. That's it, Freddie. No more. I'll give you one more piece because you were so good. You ready? Yes. Okay. Good boy. No more, Freddie. Later, okay? You also just had brekkie at 8. So what I also have is persimmons. I bought this box of really bruised, gross persimmons, and I skinned it all because the skin was really gross, and I was running off to drop off compost the next day, so I was like, you know what? Let me skin them all so I can compost this so that it doesn't have to stay in my fridge for another week. And now I think we should make something with it. Or just eat it, you know, whatever. Whatever works. I have a tub here that is relatively hard and crunchy. There's one that's kind of mushy. And then I have another tub here that you can see is way more mushy. Ooh, do we have a Spammy? Are you a Spammy? You look like a Spammy. Okay, now before this bread goes in, I'm going to spray it with some water. I'm not going to spend time making persimmon jam just to make persimmon jam because I'm just going to end up eating all of it anyway, and that's a waste of energy. I don't really see a point. Okay, we're going to set our timer for 20 minutes. Although last time we only did 15, I think, at 450. I'm not sure anymore. But when those 15 minutes are up, we'll decrease the oven temp a little bit, and we'll continue to let it bake. I don't know where my Clausen jar went. This is very strange. I would never throw out a Clausen jar. It's big. Who knows what happened? Here's my to-do list on the live today. Bake bread, organize glasses, and then I was thinking mini persimmon cranberry seed muffins. Since we have the oven on and all. Ooh. Maybe that cabinet needs a clean too, huh? I have eaten kumquats. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they can be good. So, I have a lot of chickpea flour that I rescued from the test kitchen. I think once upon a time, when we were still in the office, we were responsible for shooting a lot of videos for Delicious UK version of the website. It's not really our department at all because it's a separate country, but it shares our name and brand. I still don't really understand what our connection to them is, but we stopped shooting videos for them. But when we did shoot videos for them, they did a lot of Indian recipes. And we had chickpea flour for like a fritter recipe. And nobody ever used it. And when I went back to the office, you know, after the pandemic has started to grab supplies, I saw it in the pantry and I'm like, well, this is just gonna go rancid. So let me take it home and use it. Unfortunately, I haven't even touched it. It's been what? Almost 2 years now? Which is ridiculous, but at least it's been in my freezer, so hopefully it's not rancid. I do believe they were for a pakora recipe to begin with. I don't feel like deep frying, but I almost want to see if I can make chickpea flour and mochi flour mini muffins with these persimmons. My seasonal depression, I mean, people will tell you light therapy, go to sleep, eat right, exercise. Those are all very valid points. They can be very hard to set into motion. That's the problem with dealing with any sort of depression is you know what is going to be good for you to do, what will help your condition. But when you're in the thick of it, it just becomes super hard to enact on any of it. And I would say the first step is the mental challenge of accepting the fact that you have depression and to get rid of all the shame and all the guilt that you might be harboring onto concerning your condition, because it's not really something that you can help at this point, and if you make yourself feel shittier about it, Fred agrees, it won't get easier for you to deal with. So I think mentally first thing is to just be like, you know what, shit luck, shit life, shit world, shit circumstances, just shit times. So allow yourself to feel like shit. And it's kind of like whenever you're ready to try drugs or sex, it's the same thing. It's like when you're ready to let yourself feel better and try something new. I would say the first thing that really helps me is to reach out to friends just to get in touch. Like, you don't have to do any grand gestures. Just like text one of them and say, hey, what's up? Or group text some of them if that takes the social pressure off of you. if you watch these lives from the beginning, like the whole reason why I started doing these lives was I was seeing a therapist last February who encouraged me to maintain more social relationships so that I felt less isolated, because that can be a behavior that I'm exhibiting now in real life, is like social isolation, because I feel like shit, I feel like I look like shit, I feel like I will be shit in person, so I don't want to be next to anybody. But think of it as maybe the one thing that will help you start to feel better is to feel more human, because I feel like being human means to be in touch with other people and to make connections with other people. And like, you know what? Maybe your friends are feeling just as shitty. I'm going to take about 8 ounces of persimmons. That's about 3 of them peeled. And I'm going to try to mash them. I don't really want to puree them. I can. I have an immersion blender. I have a Vitamix. But I find that when you puree fruit, it makes the texture very thoroughly dense. I kind of still want like uneven chunks of fruit so that you get a little bit of more cakey bits and you get a little bit of more jammy fruity bits. I can tell right away that this is probably too much persimmon for the amount that I'm going to make in the mini muffins, but we shall just carry on. But also, I want to eat one of these segments. These are like the seed pockets. It's very slippery. Can you see? It almost looks like a clementine segment. Here we go. Here's the Besan flour. Graham flour, genuine product of Canada, super fine. Got this from Patel Brothers. For free recipes, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Raja Foods at 8110 North St. Louis Avenue, Skokie, Illinois 0076. There you go. Now you know where to write if you want to figure out what to do with graham flour. Kind of has a yellow look to it. Kind of like cornmeal, but earthier looking. Yes, I baked something using Tef flour in the Pantry Clean Out Budget Eats. I did. I keep flours in the freezer because flours oftentimes have fats once they're ground, kind of like nuts. Freezing them prohibits the flours from turning rancid, so it slows down and prolongs your flours tasting as optimal as possible. About 100 grams of the chickpea flour. And today we should put some baking powder in here. Maybe even baking soda. And some chia seeds. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder and then a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm gonna go in with 2 teaspoons of chia seed. That's what we have so far. Okay. There's no gluten in here, so we don't have to really worry about over-mixing. So a viewer who lives nearby has been so friendly and kind, and she's given me lots of gifts. The most recent one being homemade coquito. So we're gonna give this a shake. You can see there's some spices that settled on the bottom. We're gonna taste it, and I think we're gonna put some in here, or we might put some buttermilk in the cake, and then I can brush it on top with this when it comes out of the oven. But I'm very excited. I don't think I've ever had coquito before, so this will be my very first time trying it. Wow. Creamy. Creamy looking. Smells vaguely alcoholic. Smells more perfumey than coconut, actually. All right, we're gonna take a tablespoon. Coquito is like almost like a tres leches with coconut milk and rum. Some people put egg yolk. Ooh, 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 that's good. Nothing like a little bit of alcohol to wake you up. It's kind of like a coconut Bailey's. Wow, that's delicious. I think we're gonna have to add some in here. I'll go in with 2 tablespoons for now. That is so alcoholic. Ooh. oven temp to 425. And we're gonna set it for 10 more minutes. Nice puffy boy. Nice puffy boy. Okay, where are we? What are we? Coquito. Ooh, that is hitting. Oh my God. I didn't even drink that whole tablespoon. That is hitting. I feels it in my eyebrows. Feels it in my eyebrows. Where's my mochi? Okay. Mochi flour. A 1/4 cup of it, or 40 grams. I think we're gonna go ahead and maybe season this with a little bit of pumpkin spice is what I'm feeling. Then we're gonna sprinkle in a little bit of salt, just table salt. And I'll probably loosen this with a little bit more buttermilk. So right now it's a chunky boy. Chunky boy. Sorry, I'm gonna need a wardrobe change. It's too hot with that alcohol in my bloodstream. Much better. Okay. Shake up your buttermilk. I hate that buttermilk comes in these paper cartons that don't actually allow you to shake them properly. And then it gets all gross and gunky. Very unsanitary. I don't really follow basic formulas. I bought a book called Ratio that was supposed to teach you formulas for cooking and baking, but I found it really hard to like make sense of it all, and now I just go by texture, sludgy, runniness, and feel. I guess they don't always turn out, you know, but 46 grams of buttermilk. That's like less than 1/4 cup. Let's see how that looks. So for cake, I usually want the texture to be no thicker than this. Sometimes depending on the cake that you're making and the leaveners that you're putting in there. Remember, this one has no egg in there either, and no fat. Shit, we need to put some fat in here. It's not good without fat. 2 tablespoons, I think, ish, of olive oil. I'm just gonna fold that in. The persimmons are already very moist, so they're kind of gonna be like mashed bananas and applesauce. So those are common substitutes for making your baked goods a little bit more low fat. You can substitute out some of your butter or oil with those mashed fruit. So I'm thinking we don't need as much fat in this batter, but this is actually starting to look quite good to me. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add 15 more grams just to finish up that 1/4 cup of buttermilk. There we go. Yes, generally thicker for quick breads, runnier for cakes. However, it really depends on how much fat and sugar are in your baked goods. Like right now, I haven't even added any added sugars yet beyond the coquito and the persimmon. So I'm gonna taste the batter. If you make a low fat or a fat-free cake, it's not gonna come out good because what happens is the dough basically just turns into a pasta, right? Because pasta is essentially, or noodles, think of noodles, because pasta even has eggs in it. Think of noodles, right? They're very dense. They're not fluffy at all. So what happens when you don't add fat in there is there's no chemical interaction to like really leaven and moisten it past the water. So you're basically just roasting a boiled dough in the oven. So it's dry and crackly on the outside and dense and gummy on the inside, which is why low-fat baked goods almost never turn out good. Definitely needs a little bit of sweetener if we want it to read dessert. I almost forgot to put in the cranberry seeds. I don't really know what the cranberry seeds do. I don't. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of sugar in here. It's just organic granulated sugar, so it's not as white or as fine as what you're used to seeing when you see granulated sugar, but same shit, basically. Again, because I'm more than likely to eat this all in one sitting, I don't want too much sugar in there. But if you don't add any sugar, you're just going to end up punishing yourself with a very unsatisfying baked good. The bread is already in the oven and it's about to come out, yes. I'm going to try this one without, well, let's put in an egg. You're right. You're right. One medium egg, although I don't really need the egg because I put in some chia seeds, which will give it some body, but why not? I will need to whisk it in though if I'm using an egg. Don't know where my whisk is though. There it is. A medium egg is about 42 grams. If you're curious. Eggs also give me a little bit more nutrition. Let me lower the oven temp for the last 5 minutes because our cake will likely need like 350, so we don't want it blazing hot. Okay, let me check up on the bread. Oh yeah. Looking good, my friends, looking good. Hi, UK. I don't actually know what the cranberry seeds taste like on their own because I haven't tried it on their own yet, but I'll try some just for you, okay? They look kind of like red poppy seeds. They're a little tart, yeah. They kind of just taste like dehydrated cranberries. Less intense, maybe? I'm gonna oil down our tin. You can use a pastry brush, but I find washing a pastry brush of oil really painstaking sometimes, so I'll either use my fingers or a little bit of paper towel like I'm doing now. So, anxiety, what do you guys do for it? Part of why I do these lives is to give myself something to be attentive to. I find that anxiety happens a lot when, you know, in the words of the meditation practice, when your mind is wandering. You're never really thinking about the present. You're thinking about before or after things that have not yet happened that you worry will happen, or simply dread of things that will happen that you have no control over. So for me, doing an activity like putting on a live or just baking on my own without being in the company of others too helps me just redirect my attention. Some people meditate. For me, I have a hard time truly meditating. I often just end up napping when I go to meditate. So to each their own, you know, whatever works for you. But I figured y'all can share your tips. And I olive oil my hands because they are dry as fuck. Hi, Vienna. Yes, stress eating is big for me too. I still do it, and I try to not blame myself or shame myself or guilt myself for doing it. If that's what brings me joy in the current moment and that's what's keeping me afloat, then I just gotta do what keeps me afloat for the moment right now. And really, like, the stress that comes from the guilt and the shame that you put on yourself is just more self-inflicted pain. So I've really had to examine why the fuck I keep doing that to myself. Like, I'm already in pain, I'm already struggling. Why am I letting myself struggle even more? Why do I do that to myself? But, okay, time to see the bread. All right, this dough, this batter now has raw eggs in it, so I obviously don't recommend that you taste it, but I will for science. Tastes good. Yum. I love it. You should know that if the batter tastes good, the baked good will often taste even better because the batter has uncooked stuff in it that really tastes quite weird sometimes. But if I taste the batter and it's like 75 to 80% to my liking, that's good news. On the most stressful days though, sometimes it feels like a curse to be alive, doesn't it? But yes, it is important to realize that you are here, and you are here. That's it. You have a choice in being here or not, but you really don't have a choice, because you are here now. You can, of course, escape anytime you want, but that in itself comes with its own pains. Pains that you are not really going to be cognizant of until maybe it is too late. So you are here. These are not pants, unfortunately. These are like tights. I found them at my mom's, but they are very thick, so I've been wearing them like pants. But thank you. I'm glad you like them. Uh-oh, I don't think I made enough batter. Look at me thinking we made too much batter. Now I have to think about what to bake in those other tins, because I oiled them already. Do you think we can stretch it out? Can we stretch it out? We might not make it. Yes, no work today. National holiday and all. Well, we got pretty close to it though. I think what I'll do is I'll make a very quick dough. Yes, I know I'm wasting oven heat by not putting them in immediately, but let's see if we can make a little mochi cake with those 3 remaining slots. I'm gonna do I don't know how much that was. A little bit of cranberry seeds. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of our coquito. So this is just mochi flour, coquito, cranberry seeds so far. Let's go in with a little more buttermilk. I think that's too loose. All right, a little more mochito. Cool, cool, cool. I'm going to add in a teaspoon of sugar. So that's the paste that we have. Right? Then I have some unripe banana pieces that I also got from a dollar bag of bananas that they were like really kind of gross. So I'll just plop a little bit of banana into each one of these three. Push them in a little bit. Then, because they're a little bit underripe, I think what we should do is hit everything with a little more sugar on top. Just to guarantee our enjoyment. So banana first, lots of it on the bananas because they need the help. Hopefully it can brulee a little bit on top. Who knows? Maybe. And then for a little more visual intrigue, I don't know why I'm going so hard on the visual intrigue here, just a few more cranberry seeds. They're cute. I wish I had poppy seeds, because then you'd have like a little red and black. I really hope this bakes. Okie dokie, we're going in. Let's go for 12 minutes. And, ooh, that's hot. Our bread has shrunken a little bit because I let it rest, which is good, because last time when we didn't let it rest, it was stuck when we turned it out. Looks like it might still need a little more time. Smells really good. For the remaining persimmon, I have to tell you guys that one of my favorite things to eat of late is just instant oats mixed together with Greek yogurt and then drizzled with honey. There is something so stick to your insides comforting about it. It's almost like a different flavor profile of peanut butter with a little more texture. My ideal time of letting it sit is like 10 minutes, but sometimes I just mix it and I eat it right away because I'm a oatmeal monster. But I would say this is a step up from my dry oats and honey mixture, which would yield the most noxious farts. It would be unbearable. So this actually I think is a little bit easier on my digestive system and also for Fred and Aaron. So I think what I'm going to do is mash up those two persimmons, add a little bit of yogurt, add a little bit of oats, and mix it up, and maybe add a little more honey on top, and then maybe add a little more pumpkin spice for that same kind of autumnal, wintry flavor profile, and then I'll have a treat very soon. And I can keep it in the fridge or not. Depends on how snacky I'm feeling. Will this masher fit inside the ooh, it might. Will it fit? Will it many Spammies today. What's my favorite kitchen utensil? I'm not sure. Can't really choose. Big spoons, maybe? Oh no! It fits, but it can't go in because this part is wider. That sucks. Next best thing is to just go in with a pair of scissors and chomp it up because I really don't feel like taking this out and putting it back into the container because I'm lazy and who cares. So scissors, great, underutilized. These are not kitchen shears, they're just like arts and crafts scissors that I got from China. I put one that was blue in my check luggage and stupidly put one that was red in my carry-on, and obviously that one got confiscated. So that was a very sad moment for me. But this one, this means that if I had this in 2011, which is when I went to China, 2012, yep, this pair of scissors, almost 10 years old, still good. I wonder if a apple and persimmon crumble would be good. It sounds good, doesn't it? So we're going for like, I don't know, a third here. I'll also add in some chia, why not? Whoop. Wow. I like to buy Bob's product because they are mostly worker owned. King Author is 100% employee owned. I think Bob is still alive. I think he's technically still the main owner of his company, but I think he's made a pledge to turn it entirely over to his employees one day when he retires and or dies. Not sure if accurate, you'll have to fact check me. I think we have to do it. I think we have to put some coquito in there. Positively radiant flavor. It also, I'm pretty sure, has condensed milk in there, so it tastes particularly delicious to me. Pumpkin spice. That looks pretty. Huh? Nice. Definitely easier to do in a big bowl, but just go slow. There's already a lot of sugar in the coquito and the persimmons as well, so I don't know if I'll be needing honey. I'm gonna taste after I mix this to see where we are, and then I will decide. How much cashews can you get for $1 at Dollar Tree? I can't imagine it's very much. I feel like it's only a good deal if you can get at least 3 ounces of cashews for $1. Otherwise, 6 ounces of cashews for $1? God damn. That's a good deal. Hello, Philippines. Oh, 6 cashews. That's exactly like 2 ounces. 1. Hello, Jasmine. Okay, our timer's about to go off. I think we need more oats in here for my perfect texture. I like it really thick, but we need to see our cakes first. Ooh, they're nice and puffy. They're not quite done yet. The mochi looks disastrous, absolutely disastrous, but we need like 3 more minutes at least. So that's a total of 15 minutes at 350. We'll check back in. Our bread is starting to collapse. Don't know if you can see that. That's hot. And then when our cakes come out of the oven, I'm going to pop this bread loaf back in so that the sides can dry out a little bit. As you can see, our patience has paid off in that it cleanly released, but it's gotten a lot of moisture sucked back in. It feels damp right here, right now, so I'm gonna pop this back in only when our oven is off. As for this, we need a little more oats. And I don't think I'm gonna cut into the bread now. I'll probably wait until it's cooled off a little bit, and when Aaron comes back, I'll cut it for him fresh. You'll probably see the inside of it on my Instagram story or something. what baking pans do I use? This one is a free room grab. This one is by Chicago Metallic. Here's what it's just a normal, probably 9x5 loaf pan. It's discolored inside because we make grass jelly, one faded live. That's what it looks like on the bottom. I think they have that rivet design on the bottom to help you release it a little bit better. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing. I do not recommend any dark colored baking metals or baking sheet trays. Dark colored non-stick coated ones are a disaster for baking in. They will burn the shit out of your crusts and bottoms and leave you with gummy undone centers. They absorb heat in a very strange way. They conduct heat very unevenly and abruptly, and because they tend to be of cheaper construction, they just burn. We're not quite there yet. 2 more minutes, I think. The tops still look kind of moist. I want to make sure that we don't really end up with puddingy cups that become impossible to turn out. So I want to over bake them a little bit. And because the persimmons are in there and they're super juicy, I have a feeling that the cakes are going to be pretty moist anyway, even if we end up over baking. Okay, this is getting pretty close to how thick I like it. I know it looks gross, but most of the food that I like to eat looks gross. So who cares? You're not eating it. I am. What type of music do you like listening to? I post a lot of songs on my Instagram stories that I like listening to. There's a couple of playlists tucked away in there too. They're in my highlights. If you visit my Instagram profile, there are collections called Heartbeats. I think I'm on Heartbeat 7 now, so there's over 600 songs for you to click through. If you have Spotify. They're pretty much all Spotify links. There are some Bandcamp links. I link to those on a Friday because I'm going to turn off the oven and just let the carryover heat do its job. On some Fridays, Bandcamp will give 100% of the proceeds to the artists if you end up buying any songs, which is pretty great because Spotify certainly doesn't pay their artists very well. So if you ever feel like throwing some musicians some money, look for Bandcamp Fridays when they get 100% of the proceeds. Okay, I think I'm going to let this chill in the fridge. Looks pretty good. Very creamy. Yum. And yes, I do believe we need a little bit more honey in there. Remember these honeys that we got? They're not bad, actually. They're decent honeys. Just gonna drizzle a little bit, and then I can mix it in when I eat it. I smell good pumpkin spice smells, which means the cakes are probably done. Perfect timing. So I did turn the oven off I'm gonna let them hang out in there for just 3 more minutes. There will be some carryover heat cooking happening. I would say that microdosing on alcohol can be very enjoyable for myself. Like, I just had a tablespoon of that coquito, and granted, coquitos are probably very strong. It's not like a tablespoon of beer, but it was both delicious and perky. So, have you taken Fred to a vet a lot over the years? We actually just got him last March, believe it or not, and we've only taken him twice because he had ringworm when we first got him, and then he started having those coughing attacks, which turned out to be asthma, apparently. So after that, we haven't really had to take him to the vet very much. He's just been on Flovent. We probably could have gone a little longer, actually. Yes, probably. You know what? I'm gonna go a little bit longer. Sorry. I just can't handle it. I need it to be golden on the outside so that it has a clean peel. I don't want to regret it later. If it just takes 5 more minutes. I'm back, Freddy. I'm going to annoy you. I made sure to not touch Fred with my bare hands because I had a lot of skin cracks because of my eczema. When he had ringworm, I always handled him with gloves. It was a pretty precarious time. Ringworm can spread from pets to humans, so you gotta be really careful, especially if you have any open sores or wounds. They will get to ya. You will get ringworm. Ringworm. Hello, Fred. What's up, buddy? You keep doing that. You keep tripping over yourself. Hi. You belong to me, Fred. You have no personal rights. You are my property. Or am I yours? We'll never know. I have gotten very, very angry at him over the past couple of weeks. I think mostly because of my own mental issues. Just getting very mood swingy, but he's been kind of a bitch. But apparently people tell me that pets can soak up your aura too, whatever you're feeling, and they'll reflect it and mirror it back to you. So it makes me wonder, like, when Fred is being a bitch, that probably means that I'm a bitch too, right? Can you hear his little sniffles? Bitch odometer, yes. So, I need to make sure that I'm kind to Fred, because when I'm kind to Fred, it probably means that I'm kind to myself and to others. When I'm mean to Fred, it probably means that I'm mean to myself and to others. It is quite a good metric to go by. Happy cat, happy me. Do you like the ear scrubbies? Cats, I think, can be anxiety reducers. Really depends on your cat, and it depends on your anxiety. It's not a surefire way, but I think pets in general do a lot for your mental health. He's not more head shaking, wobbly, or scratchy more than usual. He just really likes it when I scratch it. Where are you going, Fred? Just there? Just standing there? Okay. Want to follow me to the kitchen? Ooh, it smells like pumpkin pie spice in here, Freddie. It smells good. Yes, they look good now. All right, let's pop our bread in so it can evaporate a little bit. Nice. So what I'm seeing when I'm seeing good cake, the edges are starting to peel off and away. You want a clean release, and when you see the cakes shrink in from the sides of the pan, that's a good sign. That's also a great sign that you lubricated well enough that it released on its own without having to have much shaky, bangy, violent agitation. So I'll just let it cool off a little bit. Right now it still seems a little sticky. The mochi, that's another story. Not sure how the mochi will turn out. But I am a little worried about the mochi getting stuck because as it cools, it'll actually be a little bit harder to bang out the mochi. So I might extract the mochi first. Probably should have oiled the mochi cups a little bit better too, since they are just stickier to begin with. Oh yeah, they're definitely sticking. Whoops. Well, not much of a shower. There's one mochi. The sugar didn't really caramelize either, but I think it melted into a very nice thin layer. Not bad. I don't know why this never seems to want to work. Kind of sucks. Nope. Alright, well, I was going to torture for you guys, but this doesn't want to work. I think our big torch might be a little too violent. I'm not even going to. I refill the butane every time. I really don't think it has to do with that. But anyway, here's the bottom of it. Hot. Very hot. Do you want to smell, Freddie? Can somebody look up if cats can have cranberry? Because if so, I can try to give him a little bit of the mochi. No? You don't want it? You sure, Fred? It's nice and warm and gooey. It's mushy. No interest. Oh well. How about banana? No interest. Banana is a no-go. I will say the mochi is quite delicious. I'm very happy with our experiment. All right, shall we try a cake then? Nice and golden. Cute little seeds on top. No? No interest either? I thought I did okay, Freddie. You don't think so, huh? Mmm. This has a nice smell to it. Oh yeah. It is very moist. Very moist. It almost tastes like a, it has a texture of like almost gulab jamun. So it tastes like a donut that has been soaked in syrup, but it's not as sweet as the syrup. Mmm. Yes. I think this definitely needed a little more sugar to reach dessert, but as is, I could see me putting on a little more coquito on top. When I eat it. So, all in all, I think we had a successful day of baking. I hope you guys enjoyed tuning in. Happy holidays to those of you who have the day off. To the rest of you, stay safe, stay warm, and I don't know, keep drinking stuff. Stay hydrated, sleep, reach out to friends. They're there. You know, if you don't have friends, then try your best to do an activity with yourself that enables you to befriend yourself instead of making enemies with yourself, because it is just very easy to make enemies with yourself. I find that that's the case for me anyway. So befriend yourself is your assignment for today. You ready to say bye to Fred? Let's give you a treat, Freddie. Goes crazy for it. Bye, y'all.